Hey, Bob Parsons here. We're going to try a new angle here on my little phone gizmo. As you can see it, got a little pivot action here. I'm going to leave it a little off to the right and move my board this way. Let's see how that works. Because this camera is right in my face, actually. That's why you got such a good view here. It's literally in front of my nose, and makes it a little bit difficult to look past, see what we're doing. So, got a pretty wide brush for a small letter here. Good feeling paint. There's my little terminal convention, a little bit of an angle. And kind of a calligraphy terminal there, where I'm not turning the brush, but using the brush like a chisel, like a flat pen. Now, this stroke here, when strokes come together, you want to lessen. See, this one's not as thick as that, and that's normal for a horizontal. But this one's not as thick as that. And because we have several strokes coming together here, and I'm going to try to leave the stroke that thin. To get the next one. Otherwise, you just get too much mass happening. All right, now how's this going to work? This is Letter Styles CoffeeHouse Casual, and it's got kind of a offset oval as a base to it. And tell you the truth, I've never lettered this. I haven't lettered this alphabet very much anyway, even though I designed it. So I'm kind of getting used to it, just like learning a new song, you know. Let's see, yeah, my little coattail goes down to the right. Finish that off. Have a curve to my horizontals. That's a pretty nice looking G. Let's see if we can get a little better angle on this. Pushing my luck, the way my phone is hooked up in this. Well, we're just going to have to let that be. We'll get this line. Coming out at more of an angle there because I got a letter here I have to come into this way. And I want to keep that part thin. This is a beautiful pink I'm using, and an old number 5 quill. This 5 quill, I'd have to, if I ever lost this quill, I would probably have to have a wake for it or something. It is a brush like you come across a few times in your life. It is so sharp on the corner. Yep, I'm not making that up. The arm of the camera holder is kind of in my face. So, let's see how this works. A little lighter on that diagonal there. Got a little garbage in the board. This board looks pretty black to you, but it's not quite black. It's a black that we used on the movie The Frozen Ground. It's actually a dark blue. It's got blue in it. And it was the art director's version of black because, you know, black and white don't work well in video or in movies. So this was our default black if we had black. I honestly don't know what to do with that letters. It's so easy to do this with a pen. It's hard to get the swing. One of these days I'll get it. So I'm lettering these videos for your benefit, but mostly for mine. What you're getting sometimes is not so much a how-to, but research and development. I'm way off to the side lettering to stay out of the way of this camera. Not to make excuses, but sign painters get in some strange situations. And you can't put a card next to the job saying how difficult it was for you. You just got to do it. I remember reading about Al Grand and doing a gold leaf job where there was only about 6 inches between the window and a little wall that came down they had to work up into that crack. And I think that's where his method of gold leaf right out of the book came. Anyway, necessity is the mother of invention, is what my mom used to tell me. Sure, like a nice little sharp edge right there too. It's funny how letter styles change when your brush width changes. Some like I do a NYX Casual, and it's really only good with a brush about this big and smaller. It doesn't do well with, like a 12 or 16 quill. There's too much disparity in thin and like when you go sideways on a brush. When you got these little brushes, you can kind of get away with going sideways, and it's not that much difference between the like this thick and that thin. I'll come down a little to the right here. To open up that area right there. Okay, that's about all I can squeeze on that video screen right now. I'm going to call it a day. This is Bob Parsons signing off.